Hey, party people, and welcome to this episode of But Are You Weird? A podcast dedicated to spending time talking with some creative, captivating, and downright cool people, diving into their world and ultimately asking, but are you weird? I'm Amanda, your host and resident weirdo, and I'm so happy you're here with us today. And our guest on this episode is my friend, Kendra. Yay, Kendra! All right, Kendra's here. Kendra, I think I honestly might have asked you probably around this time, maybe a little bit later. I think it was after camp. But I was like, Kendra, do you want to be on my podcast? And you're like, sure. And like it just timing never worked out. So I'm so happy you're finally able to be on the show. You're here kind of on Zoom, but you're here. All right. So Kendra, can you introduce yourself to the audience?
Yes. You're right. It took a long time for our schedules to align, but I'm so excited to be here and excited for your podcast.
Thanks.
Yeah. So I am a friend of yours.
That says a lot already.
Yeah. Our kids are friends, practically family, right?
Mm-hmm.
I am an educator. I'm an assistant professor in an occupational therapy program. I love it. And I guess I'm new there. I've been there a year, and prior to that, I was working as a school-based occupational therapist. I'm a mom of 4 boys that keep me very busy, and I'm usually on the sidelines somewhere at some field.
Oh my gosh, that's right. You know, I saw you this morning at drop-off at the Child Development Center, and we were already talking for a while, and I started to think like, oh man, maybe she has to go somewhere. I should probably like stop yapping her ear off. But I wanted to ask, are there any sports happening tonight?
Tonight we yes. One lacrosse game.
Okay.
Though this is for my 10-year-old, but I guess they have 2 teams. So he's one of the younger kiddos, so they kind of separated into 2 teams. So the older kiddos are playing, so it's kind of like,
oh, okay. So he
be there,
goes,
but he's probably yeah. So so he has that tonight, and I think that's it today. Tomorrow we have lacrosse and flag football.
Oh.
And then Sunday, flag football. Yeah.
No. Oh, is track season done?
Track just ended. They just had their last meet. And unfortunately, he could not even go because he wasn't feeling well, which he was looking forward to that one. But he did pretty well the other track meets.
It's everything. I'm just thinking time is so blurry because I feel like we tried to get to as many track meets as we could last year. And then now I feel like watching your Instagram stories or Facebook stories, whatever it is, like I see you're at a meet and I'm like, oh man, I didn't go to one yet. And I don't know how it happened where now the season's over. Like,
I know.
I feel like it was just yesterday that I went to a meet from last year. It's like, how did time move so fast? This is wild.
I agree completely. Yeah, it went so fast. But to be fair, like the track season, I think they had like 5 games total. So it does go really fast. It's a short season.
They're long meets though, right? They're like 2 hours.
Oh my gosh. They're so long. So I never know when to
like actually show up.
They do have an app now though. Ooh. And it like kind of shows you like the order of events. So you can kind of be like, okay, huddles are not, they're not huddles, hurdles. I'm like, what is the word?
I was like, you were in football mom mode for a second sports. There. You're like, they have a huddle before they go run.
Like, wait, no, there's no huddles in track.
They bring it in, they talk about their game plan, and then they jump over things.
I mix everything. Sports names.
Well, you do have a lot of juggling with all of the sports. So
yeah.
I also was just thinking about, you said they have an app, but are you still there early, right? I feel like, yeah. That's,
still there early.
I would say that's a little bit of like, I think, regular anxious mom and then anxious in general, where it's like, just in case, let me actually be at the airport 4 hours before my plane takes off, just to be safe.
Yeah, even though I know I do this for everything. Yeah.
We definitely have that in common. And we've definitely well, I'm thinking like sending memes, of course, but texts all the time about like, I feel like I'll reach out to you and I'll be like, oh my gosh, Kendra, like this thing is happening and I did this and this and that. And you're like, you know what? I would do the same thing.
Yes, I would have reacted the same way. Yep.
Which is really nice. I think about like so often we have certain friends that we reach out to for certain things.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like you're my go-to, like, am I being crazy person? And, you know,
and I'm always like, never.
Yeah.
Never. You could never.
I also think, like, I have said to you, and I think you've said to me, like, if you're going to text me to ask me whether or not I should buy something, like, I'm not that person because I'm going to tell you to get it.
I will completely talk you into it, even if you don't need it.
Like, I don't have the money for this, but I really want it. Should I get it? Yes. And I will send you money.
I did this yesterday because there was there were lacrosse sticks on Marketplace, and I was like, oh, that's a really good price. And then I showed my husband, I showed Brandon, and he's like, okay, like maybe. And I said, yeah, that's a really good price. And I just kept asking until I got the answer I wanted, because then she's like, well, I have 2 more if you're interested. And I'm like, okay, well, then everybody can play together. He's like, but we already have enough. I'm like, but it's such a good price.
Okay,
so,
but
anyway,
who went to go pick him up is the question.
He drove. He drove. And I was in the car. I was like, date night picking up lacrosse sticks.
Yeah, that's also something we have in common, where it's like we will find the good deal on Marketplace or buy nothing. But like, actually, I don't want to interact with you, so I'm going to send my husband. Sometimes I'll be like, in the middle of the workday, I'll be like, hey, David, I just got something off of Buy Nothing. Can you go pick it up?
Yes, yes.
Please, thank you. Didn't you have him get like a bunk bed or something before? Wasn't there like something really big that he had to go pick up?
Yes, he's met so many people in the community. He took apart a place that then set it up in the yard.
Yeah.
When we first moved in. Yeah. He's a trooper.
Yeah. Hey, actually, maybe a good segue here. What else do you have in your yard?
Chickens. They're loud. Oh my goodness. I'm so thankful for the noise canceling because they're loud.
Oh, your chickens?
Yes, they're so loud. And I'm like, I think they understand me. I'm like, because I tell them, I'm like, listen, you have food, you have water, you need to be quiet. I need to work.
Mommy's doing a meeting. Yeah.
You will get out today.
Yeah.
I promise.
Oh, when you say they get out, like, what do you let them, what do they do?
Yeah, so they have a decent sized coop, but they still they scream. It's like, they're like, let me out. They just want to get out. They have everything they need and they just want to get out into the yard and like go get, especially if it rains, I think they want worms. They just make a bunch of noise until I get annoyed enough to open the door. And then they're happy.
What's a chicken scream sound like?
Okay, so to me, it sounds like they're laughing hysterically. Like, it's, I'm going to make the noise.
Yeah.
So, because I had my sister listen, I'm like, I'm telling you, she's like, what is so funny? I'm like, right?
Yeah.
You know, like,
the chickens are all telling a joke and everybody's laughing at each other.
Yeah. And I'm like, what is funny? But it's like a cry laugh, like, oh. Just like that. Like, I think I mastered it.
I'm imagining what you looked like doing that.
I had to get serious because I had to get into
that's
character.
Exactly what I thought. I thought for a moment like you composed yourself and then you did the little thing.
Yes. And then I go out in my bonnet and I'm like, stop. Stop it right now.
Okay, so you let them out of the coop. Okay, listen, when I got tested, I tested as really smart. Okay, but there are some things I still don't know. Do chickens actually fly?
They fly a little bit.
They like hover?
But not. Yeah, like they like
do huddles.
Fly. They can go over the fence. I'll tell you that. Because my neighbor sometimes throws them back over. That's actually how we met.
Your chicken's in my yard. They launch it back.
Like, I just saw her and I didn't know she'd be scared. I'm like, no, just throw her over if that happens. Thank you.
All right. So they get out of the coop and they roam the backyard. Apparently they can jump over the fence, but
Yeah, they haven't done that in a while, thankfully. But yeah, and like when the kids get outside, kids are usually outside daily. So I'm like, all right, you guys are outside, just let them out. Because if they're out alone, they'll get taken by a hawk. So I'm like, you can't just roam when nobody's out here.
Yeah, you've had, well, I guess we don't have to talk about it too much, but you've definitely had some chickens that have gone missing.
Some losses.
Yeah, some losses.
Yes.
There we go. Some losses.
Yes, some traumatic losses.
Yeah. And I can't remember, I think I was asking your little guy, maybe. I was asking him about the chickens. I said something like, does so-and-so still have their chicken? And he was like, no. Oh, I'm sorry.
Omelet.
Hey, actually, do you get a ton of eggs?
Yeah, they do lay daily. We had some broody. We had a broody, which I
don't know what that is.
That was last year.
What's a broody?
It means they just won't get off of their egg.
Oh.
And I think they think there's a chick in it. So.
Oh, like a little.
Yeah. I called my aunt who she has a farm and she's like, oh, I would kill for a broody hen right now. And I'm like, oh, okay. I was like, what do I do? So she said, just take her off of the eggs and have somebody else discard them. And...
It kind of reminds me of, and I don't mean this to be disparaging, mean or anything, but sometimes people with dementia, right? Like they hold on to the baby doll because they're convinced it's their baby. Is that a broody chicken's this is my baby, and it's actually that's not your baby.
Yeah. I think it is.
Wow, we went from laughing to kind of getting sad very quickly.
That got sad, yeah. They say you can if the chick is new enough, you can stick it right under them, but it has to be very new, and then it will treat them like their own chick. But I don't have any.
All right. Well, what are you doing with all your eggs?
Sometimes we give them away, but in the winter they still laid in the winter, but not all of them. So there were less. So now that it's getting warmer, they'll lay a lot more. And sometimes we give them away. One of the neighbors tried to pay me for eggs, and I'm like, no, just take them.
Yeah.
She's like, so yeah, sometimes the neighbors or whoever wants any.
Do you guys eat a lot of eggs?
My husband does. And I would say half of us eat eggs. The other half are like, no, thank you. I'll use eggs to bake and things like that. But
yeah, I always wonder about that. Chickens are great. Yes, you have eggs, but what are you actually doing with all of those eggs? And I just asked someone at work, I actually think it was yesterday, because she also has a lot of chickens. And she has a lot of chicken decor on her desk, too. Shout out to Donna for her chicken decor. But I said, what do you do with all those eggs? And they have a handful of people living in the house. And so she says they actually will eat dozens of eggs.
Wow.
And they'll have breakfast for dinner. I remember someone gave me a fresh egg before, and it's amazing the difference between a store-bought egg versus a fresh egg.
Yes.
The look and the taste.
The smell too.
Okay, I've never smelled an egg.
I really dislike the smell of eggs. It bothers me so bad.
Really? Like a cooked egg?
Yes.
Like a scrambled egg?
Yeah, both, all of it.
I did not
I'll come
know
in
this
the
about
house
you.
and I get so mad. It just immediately makes me angry.
All right. Well, we're going to come back to that. But so why do you have chickens?
Well,
so what happened was
years ago, I think we thought it would get rid of their desire to have a real pet.
Yeah.
And we're okay, you have to take care of this. You can see what it's like, but it's low stakes.
Mm-hmm.
But then we realized all the things you have to get. You have to get the coop. You have to get the food. They have to have a waterer, all these things. And now I'm totally into it. And all my For You stuff is about chickens. And I'm like, how did we get here? So, and they still want a dog. So it didn't work.
And remind me there's probably a handful of reasons why we're not getting a dog, but what's the biggest reason why you're no, can't get a dog?
So I actually want a dog. My husband
Really?
is I do. I
See,
know.
now
Was that
I thought,
surprising with my
yeah,
OCD?
yes. Because I remember, I think about it every now and then, actually, especially when it's like wet outside and Marty goes outside and he comes back in with his paws and I'm like, oh, Kendra would die. Like, that's what I always thought the biggest thing for you was like, no, we don't do outside feet inside.
Yeah. That part.
Dogs are definitely outside feet. I mean, and then even like a cat, like the cat's in the litter box and that's inside too.
Yeah.
So, okay. All right. So you really want, not really,
I
you want a
do.
dog? You really want
I
a dog?
do. I feel like, so everybody sends me all like the dog feet cleaning things.
Oh, really?
They're like, look at this.
Put
You
little
can get
boots
a
on
dog
them,
now.
send them outside, put them with boots on.
Right. And they have this little mat. And I'm like, maybe I can train it to just wipe its feet.
You probably could. Realistically, you could.
Yeah. And it's like a little spongy mat. So that's what I'm thinking I would have. But it's my husband that's.
Why doesn't he want a dog?
He's like, it's going to be me who ends up taking care of it. And he's probably right. But I'm like, also, you'll probably love it.
Yeah. I feel like most of the time when people get a pet and there's like someone who doesn't want the pet ends up attaching most to that person. Like growing up, my dad was like, no, we don't need any cats. We don't need cats. Excuse me. And then we get a cat and it's like the cat just loves my dad. It's like, okay, how did this happen? Like the one person who doesn't want the animal, it's drawn to.
I think that's what would happen.
Yeah, Brandon and the doggy would be best friends. What kind of dog would you get if you had like
I want a big dog.
Like Great Dane or like a Rottweiler?
Yeah, he actually has mentioned Rottweilers.
I would be at your house all the time if you had a Rottweiler. I
Really?
love them. They're
love
just,
them?
yeah, they're such goofballs. They're meatheads.
I love huskies, but they make me sneeze and itch so bad. But I love them. They're so cute.
Yeah, and they have a howl. I'm just thinking your chickens are laughing and your dog would be
That's
howling.
a noisy house.
Yeah.
It's already noisy.
What do the kids want?
They want a cane corso.
I don't even know what that is. I'm going to Google it.
It's huge. It's huge. We had a neighbor that had one and they fell in love with it. So now they want one.
Oh, look. Oh, wow. I looked up puppies. So let me look up a regular sized. Yeah, that's a big dog.
Mm-hmm. I think I'll get my way with this one. I think we'll get a dog.
Yeah.
I just don't know when.
You said something else too. So the dogs, the feet and the OCD, but there was something else I feel like you said that I was thinking about. Oh, the smell of eggs. I didn't know that. But there's a lot of like little things like that for you.
Yes, a lot of sensory icks, if you will. I don't know.
Do we want to talk about icks?
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. What are my other ones? Oh, styrofoam.
Oh, the sound of it or the feel of it?
Both. Like it's like nails on a chalkboard. Ugh, I hate it.
What about like a styrofoam cup?
No. And then you know how sometimes kids will like bite it?
Oh
my gosh. I need to leave the room.
Yeah. It's got that squeaky sound. I get it, but I know some people don't. But like for me, it's cotton balls.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
I don't even know if they do it anymore. But when you get pills and there's like that little cotton ball on top, like the looking at it, the touching it, seeing other people touch it, and it also, like styrofoam, has a squeaky sound to it.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And that's a big no. That's a nope.
What about Q-tips? Like with the little.
So that's so funny because Robin just asked me that the other day. Q-tips are fine. They don't bother me. I feel like because it's more compact. That's why I was wondering about styrofoam cups for you. Because sometimes you get stuff like in styrofoam packaging and it obviously looks like it breaks apart pretty easily. But like a styrofoam cup, like it's more compact. So that's why I'm okay with a Q-tip.
No, that makes sense because it doesn't like pull apart.
Yeah. I think it was my sophomore year of college. The RA on our floor decorated our doors with clouds made out of cotton balls. And I remember my first day back, I was like, oh my actual God. Like, no. I cannot do this. Yeah. All right. So styrofoam eggs. What else are like interesting icks?
I like overly wash my hand and like.
Yeah. So you mentioned the OCD side of things. I guess we're
Yeah.
going like diagnosis stuff right now. And then you and I have also like talked about neurodivergence too. And just because there's so many things that sort of pop up. And so do you identify as a neurodivergent person?
Yes, definitely. I'm not like formally diagnosed, but
when did you start to realize like, oh, I don't even know, there's something happening here, or like, oh, because from my perspective, like I've always known something was different, but I've always just assumed something was wrong with me, or like I wasn't doing things right. For you, have you had that experience, or like from the get-go, you're like, oh no, my brain is just different. That's it.
yeah, I think I knew my brain was a little different as a child, but I think I don't know when was like an aha moment, but I think in school learning about different diagnoses, and I remember learning in undergrad more so about OCD, and I was like, wow, okay, that I have that. And also my grandmother has that, and maybe my mom too.
Wow.
But yeah, and then with like this is the OCD piece, but I used to come home from school and have to like touch the mailbox before I go in the house. Like I cannot go in the house before touching the mailbox. But I was doing this since I was like 10 maybe. Something my family would just laugh at, and then I'm like, "Oh, okay. That was my OCD." Yeah, so that I think that all clicked in college. And then in OT school learning about autism, ADHD, and I'm like, that sounds a lot like me. That sounds a lot like me. So yeah, I definitely am neurodivergent, I would say.
Yeah, we send some memes back and forth now too about different things where it's just like, oh, I can relate. Oh, I get it. Oh, that's kind of funny and sad, but kind of funny at the same time.
Yeah, so relatable, especially like the masking.
Yeah, and it looks, of course, like any of these diagnoses look so different in females because they were traditionally diagnosed in young boys. And so, yeah. Another thing about women's health in general that people just don't understand is like everything has been researched on men. And of course, that's an exaggeration. But the idea of like so often women's health issues are dismissed. And then also like things can look differently. They present differently in women than in boys or in men.
A lot of even things specifically related to women are still researched by men sometimes. So like periods and things like that. And it's like,
That's just like, have you seen, and I haven't looked into it much, but people are saying, oh gosh, I'm not giving medical advice. That's my disclaimer. Let me say that right now. But they're taking Pepsid and Benadryl, and there's like some
I've seen that on
reaction
TikTok.
that's happening. I'm not going to try that. And I don't suggest anyone try that unless they're under medical supervision. But it's just so interesting that like, women's health and supporting women in their mental health is like other people just trying things and just sharing it. Yeah. Women do tend to figure things out.
We do.
Okay, so thinking back to what you were saying about neurodivergence, like, is that, I guess, how does it fit into your identity? Is it a big part of who you are? Is it a part of like the small piece that you sort of think about, when different little things pop up in life? Or I don't know.
That's a good question. I think it's more the latter. Maybe like it's a small piece, but I think I'm still, like all of us are, like figuring out, learning who I am. So I do sometimes like think about how that fits in, but I guess I never mind talking about it if people ask, but I also don't just bring it up either. I guess I would say it falls into my daily life here and there, but definitely something I want to explore more and see how that fits in to what I do in my daily activities and things.
Oh, it sounded a little OT for a second there.
It really did. I was thinking that as I was saying it, like, yeah.
For you, is there any shame in the diagnosis? I know that we're talking self-diagnosis too, and whatever that self-diagnosis is. But like, I'm genuinely just wondering, because that's something that I wonder about a lot. Like, there's certain people I'm comfortable sharing with, and then there's other people I'm not. And sometimes it feels like shame. And sometimes it feels like I don't trust you and I don't know what you're going to do with this information.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, that's fair. I definitely think like that too. Like, yeah, I don't know. You don't know who you can feel comfortable sharing it that with and how they'll interpret it. So yeah, I think that does sometimes probably hold me back from saying something like even OCD. Like there are definitely stigmas and you don't know where people's minds will go.
yeah. Isn't that so wild? Because like if we told someone, hey, I have a broken arm. Okay, it's a broken arm, whatever. And even, sorry, now I'm thinking more of an analogy, right? We can tell people that we have a broken arm and it impacts us for like a month, let's say. OCD like impacts us for potentially a lifetime or for a while. And yet we don't tell people that we have this thing that shows up in different ways that may make life easier in some respects and makes life difficult in other ways. But like there's so much stigma around it that we don't feel comfortable saying, hey, these things are hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm crossing my arms because I'm angry thinking about that. But yeah, people do, you were saying like the stigma and like you don't know how people will take whatever information that you share.
Or sometimes people they don't know what to say either. So they might say like, no, you don't.
Oh, yeah.
Which I think behind it, but.
Yeah. Well, what do you think about when people say things like, well, we're all a little OCD?
Yeah. And then I'm like, no, I like follow me for a day, maybe. Or if you were in my head for a day, you would be like, oh no.
Yeah.
We all don't do that.
Yeah. Even you just saying follow me and be in my head for a day is really interesting because like certainly there are going to be times where you have your OCD behaviors that you have. And like, I was actually in your head, right? Like I'd hear the self-talk around it. And like watching, I would see you doing those things. But there's also times where you're not doing those behaviors, but you're still thinking because you're like, oh man, I really want to do that behavior. Or like, I really want to, but I'm going to try not to. And so like, that's the noise that's in the background on top of everything else that you have going on in your head.
Exactly.
I'm glad that you have shared with me those things because it's giving me space where I can show up and be honest about things that I'm doing, where like I can check in with you and be like, Kendra, I've been acting this way or I've been doing these things. And then you will tell me like, that's literally part of who you are, Amanda. Or like, oh, this makes sense that you're behaving this way. And also, did you consider doing something else? So it's just nice to have somebody who gets it.
Yeah. Yeah, because you have some OCD too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was, I wasn't diagnosed with that until I think it was like 2016. And I remember my therapist asked me something like, what would happen if you didn't do that thing? And I just laughed. I laughed because I just thought that was such a ridiculous question to ask. Because what do you mean?
Yeah.
Of course I'm going to do it.
I'm going to do it.
There's no circumstance in life where I won't do that thing.
Yeah.
Like, what a
because the risk
thing.
Outweighs everything. Like, oh, you're going to break your arm if you don't.
Something bad's going to happen if you don't take care of that thing. Yeah. And so that's when I realized, oh my gosh, that's OCD. That is OCD where there's no other reality except for doing that thing. Yeah. And then, of course, like with autism, like some of it is part of the diagnosis is that structure and that routine. But there are certainly like a separate subset where it's like, it's not just, being particular or being tidy, but it is the narrative, the stuff that's in my head, the stuff that runs through your head, right? If you do or don't do that thing.
Right.
Which is exhausting.
It is exhausting.
That's why we're tired all the time. And then you throw
literally.
In kids. It's like, I got to make decisions for people too.
Right. It's a lot. We do a lot.
Well, what they say, like, there's that meme that says something, I don't even know what it is, but something about like stress equaling electricity or something like that. And it's like, okay, well then I could like power the entire world.
Oh yeah. Between the two of us, we'd be all set.
So I'm going to I guess let you know why I invited you on the show. Are you cool with
Yes,
that?
I would love to
So
hear.
there's a couple of little reasons, but I'm just going to tell you the really big main reason. Are you ready?
Okay. Yes, I'm ready.
You are an incredible friend, period. So much so where like things that I will often think to myself, literally, like, what would Kendra do? Because
Aw.
I feel like, especially, I think about the birth of my daughter and like how, well, COVID was happening and how chaotic everything is postpartum and even like leading up to giving birth. And you were someone who is consistently there for me, texting, checking in. And then even after she was born, like coming by the house. And I remember in those moments feeling like, oh my God, my world is my child. My world is my family. I have this person who's checking in on me. This is great. It was sort of after that, like I feel like a few months after Maria was born, where I really appreciated it, where I realized like, wow, Kendra never has ever had to do any of what she's done for me. And she does it. And I have tried to model myself like you in my other friendships because I know how great it made me feel to have someone who was really genuinely caring about me. And I think sometimes we were just talking about, everything up in our heads. We're so busy all the time that I forget that I have all of these really great relationships. And I want to make sure my friends feel the same way that you made me feel. And so I literally will think, oh, I haven't talked to so-and-so. Okay, what would Kendra do? Oh, Kendra would totally send an email, not send an email, send a text message, or even like you've gotten me little gifts here and there for my birthday or just because, or for the kids. And I'm like, that is you're a really good friend, Kendra. Like
Wow.
you are, when I think of what I hope people have in friendship, like I really appreciate you. And then like to have the added layer of like connecting on this neurodivergent thing is like, wow,
Yeah.
not only is she a good friend, but she's kind of weird. So
We're
that's
also
good.
alike.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that means so much. Like hearing that thank you so much.
You're welcome.
You are also, I also think very highly of you and talk very highly of you.
I think I'm a good friend because you're a good friend.
Oh.
I think I want to apologize for not being as good of a friend as you before I realized it. Like we went to master's school together, which I think is sort of like where we obviously first connected.
Yeah, I know. I was like, I feel like we weren't super, super, we were friends. We weren't super, super close until I think more so the end, right?
Yeah.
Like
I don't think I had your number until.
Because we weren't were we in the same cohort?
We were in the same cohort. I don't know if we were in the same section, the classroom.
Right.
I think we might have been.
No, we were. Yep.
There's so many people.
I can literally remember where you sat.
In the back corner.
And I remember one day in actually Lori's class, we were talking about sensory processing and you mentioned like tight clothing, helping your body regulate. And I was like so interested. I was like, wow. I was like, yeah, that does make a lot of sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, compression clothing. And since that day, I know I've offered that as a solution and it's helped so many families.
Yeah.
Because
that's my number one go-to. I remember I was working on a group assignment for something. And I just remember us working together. It was probably in our last year. And I was just like, wow, I really haven't gotten to know her. We were upstairs.
The music video we made?
Oh my God. Oh my God.
on total knee replacement.
That's right. Total hip replacement. Total hip and knee. Oh my God.
That was great. You should play it
I'll link it in the video.
This video.
Wow.
Everybody has to see that.
You know what? I'm like turning this podcast into my episode, but one of my favorite things that somebody ever told me happened when we were like the end of filming that. And someone told me, they said, you should be a Disney character. And I was like, oh my God, like I could totally imagine myself doing that.
Definitely.
Like, I don't know, being like the Miss Rachel, but for back then, which would have been like 2012, 2013.
You could totally do that.
Yeah, they were like, you're like a cartoon is pretty much what they said. And I was like,
oh,
thanks.
How do you take that?
For me,
that
it's
is a compliment. It is. And you do the puppet. So I could definitely see that.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Letting people know I've been real weird for a while. But we sort of got reconnected, I think, after. Like, I think when we both started the doctoral program is when it was like, I think you had...
I don't even think we both... Did we know, like, we were both enrolled? Or
no.
I feel like that was an afterthought,
I had started,
right?
and I think I probably posted somewhere on Facebook. And then I think you reached out and you were like, hey, I'm thinking about doing it. And I was like, oh, you should totally do it. And then we ended up being in the same class for stuff.
Class of 4.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then, we ended up graduating. But it was through that time that I think definitely like friendship totally established.
Oh, yeah. You supported me so much through that program. I think I probably wanted to.
And you had a baby during that
times.
program,
Yeah,
which I still am not sure how the heck you managed to pull that off.
I don't know either.
Yeah, a newborn.
He was 6 weeks when we graduated and kind of defended our capstone.
Yep, unreal. So like everybody who's listening, that's Kendra. She had a baby. She had a 6-week-old by the time it was time to graduate. So you think about like being pregnant, giving birth, and still graduated with her doctorate, which was insane.
Lots of crying.
Yeah. From the baby and you.
Yes. Both of us. Diapers and crying.
And then we've been connected ever since. And I just think you are a really great friend.
You've made cakes for my kids' birthdays.
I have.
Lots of them.
I have.
And my wedding.
That's right. Your wedding
cake. Yes, and my wedding cake, which was beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
And you delivered it.
I did.
You delivered it 2 hours away.
Wow. I remember that day. I always stressed out about driving with the cakes because I was like, please don't just fall over. I think I had a sedan. I didn't have like a SUV where I could put it in the back either. But it all worked out.
And I think you were like, it's perfect because there was a drink you wanted.
Yes,
you remember only that? Sold. Yes, I remember that.
Wow.
And you were like, it's okay because they sell it there and I can pick it up.
Wow. I remember that detail too. I didn't know that you did.
I sure do.
That's when, 1, I was drinking. And then 2, it was like the pumpkin cider.
Ooh.
And so I remember I got some and I probably drank 1. Because even when I was drinking, I wasn't drinking very much.
Not a big drinker, yeah.
No. And then, you, I had my daughter and we have our COVID picture of us like meeting the baby.
At the door.
Yep, the door. And then you had your son.
Yes, and you watched my 3 boys.
Yep, we got to hang out.
Tell stories about that.
That was so much fun. I tell them about it all the time too. And then so our babies were, I think, 3-4 months apart to the day. Yeah, and my kids call you Titi. Well, I make them call you Titi because I love the name Titi. So you're Titi Kendra to my babies.
Yes, I am, and you're Titi Manda.
And we tell our kids that they're cousins.
Yep. It's funny when the kids at school questioned it and they were like, are you really his auntie? I was like, I sure am.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And we're cousins. That's right. You got it.
Yep. And they have cousin fights at school.
So we've talked about, oh my gosh, what have we talked about? Well, we talked about chickens.
Chickens, OCD.
Yeah. A little bit of the neurodivergent stuff. How we met.
Sensory icks.
Yep. Being friends. So you're a fantastic person. You're a wonderful mom, a wonderful educator, you're a great friend. But are you weird?
That laugh says it all.
Yeah, I was going to say, are you trying to do your chicken laugh again? Or...
Oh, I am so weird. I am so weird.
What do you think makes you weird?
I think the way I think and the way my brain works is definitely odd sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Have other people called you weird before?
Yeah. My husband.
Your husband.
But he's used to my weird. He loves my weird.
I feel like I can imagine how he's looking
the
at you.
closest person to me definitely thinks I'm weird. Yeah.
Which is great.
Yeah. And I think I probably mask well. So it's not I don't think it's an everyday thing like where people are like, oh, you're odd. But the people who know me very well, like you, like my husband, definitely know that I'm very weird.
Yeah. What would, if you had to, and this is not something you've planned for, but if you had to define what it means to be weird or what weird is, like, what is that to you?
I think it's any like non-typical behavior or thinking. I think that's how probably society would look at anything that's not like the norm. They think is weird. Well, that's broad, but yeah, I think.
And so, yeah, your brain is different. And you said odd. Meaning
yeah,
like,
I keep saying odd.
Yeah, I think of like odd. I feel like that's a lot of like you holding on to what other people would say. But something tells me that you probably love the way your brain works. And yeah, certainly it's exhausting, right? And there's certain loops you don't want to be in. But like the way your brain works really works for you. So like, okay, it's different, but that doesn't mean it's bad.
Yeah, it's my chaotic mess and it works. Sometimes it's hard shutting off your brain, but I still sleep well, so
yeah,
I can shut it off.
All right, anything else you want to share with our listeners?
I guess one thing I would share is I was going to prepare for this meeting, and I was like, "What do I say? What do I talk about?" And then I kind of paused a little bit when I was like, no, just be yourself. I'm like, I don't know how to just be myself. I'm like, always, what does that mean? And then I was like, if I ask Amanda, she's going to say, just be yourself. And I don't.
Yeah.
So I just didn't ask you. But I was like, no, we're just going to talk. So it took everything in me to like not write things down, not prepare, and just like go with the flow. Going with the flow is hard.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't know. Are you really supposed to go with the flow or are people just saying that?
Yeah. I prepare for everything.
In a world where you and I and folks like us have been conditioned to be a certain way, when people say, oh, no, just be yourself, it's like, but wait a minute. My whole life, you've told me not to. So like, are you trying to fool me right now? Right. And so hopefully this was a safe space, and hopefully for folks that are listening, they feel like it's a safe space for like, please be yourself, be authentic. And then like, if you, I don't know, for me, I'm always like, but I just want people to give me the feedback if I'm doing things like I shouldn't be doing. Like people, good people will let you know in a nice way.
In a nice way. Exactly. That matters. The delivery is everything.
All right, that's a wrap on this episode of But Are You Weird? Thank you so much to TT Kendra for letting us get to know you and showing us your weird and wonderful self. And thanks to you for tuning in and getting weird with us. I'm so glad you're here. If you enjoyed this episode, please follow, leave a comment, or share it with your favorite curious mind. Until next time, stay curious, stay kind, and definitely stay weird.